am noble and no none ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will, which I now exert to leave you. The quote epitomizes Jane's independence, but underneath Jane's strong exterior was a young woman longing for love and a family. Good day, everyone. Today I'll be doing a book review on one of Charlotte Bronte's top 12 immediate popular critical success novel, Jane Eyre. This novel was published under Charlotte Bronte's pen name Carabel in October 19, 1847 by Smith Elder & Co. of London. This book contains 490 pages and 38 chapters. The novel Jane Eyre revolves around themes like social class, family, home, love, gothic animals and marriage. Before diving deep into the review, let me tell you a bit about the author. Charlotte Bronte's novel became classics of English literature. She is best known for her novel, Jane Eyre. The story begins as Jane Eyre was a 10-year-old girl living with a cruel and wealthy aunt, Mrs. Reed, and cousins in Gateshead. She was treated rudely by them. One day, she had a problem with John Reed and was punished to stay in Red Room, the room in which her uncle died. She started to see her uncle as a ghost and faints. After that incident, she was sent to Lowood School. She faced new things that built up herself to be wiser and stronger. At the rising action, the story progresses as Jane stays in Lowood for 8 years and decides to return to Thornfield. Jane started to get to know about Mr. Rochester when Mr. Rochester held a party in Thornfield and he invited many people to come. Then, there was a person introducing himself as the Rochester's old friend. His name was Mr. Mason. When Mr. Rochester knew that Mason was there, he was shocked. Why? The next day, Jane got news that her aunt had a terrible illness. So she went to Gateshead and stayed there until Mrs. Reed passed away. Before that, Jane was told by her aunt that she got a letter from her uncle who wanted to inherit his wealth to her. Jane had a talk with Mr. Rochester about his marriage. But Rochester proposed to Jane, who accepts almost disbelievingly. The story reaches its climax as they prepare to exchange vows. But suddenly, someone cries out that Rochester was already married to his sister. Surprisingly, it was Dick Mason. Jane was shocked, disappointed, and angry with Rochester. Jane refused to marry him and didn't want to be a mistress. Knowing that it is impossible for her to be with Rochester, Jane flees Thornfield. At the falling action, Jane travels so far and was helped by the Rivers family. She also met St. John. He surprises her one day by declaring that her uncle, John Eyre, died and left her a large fortune. When Jane asks how he received this news, he shocks her further by declaring that her uncle was also his uncle. Therefore, Jane and Rivers are cousins. Jane immediately decides to share her inheritance equally with her 3 found relatives. The story ends as Jane immediately hurries back to Thornfield after hearing Rochester's voice calling her over the moss. She finds him blind and one hand missing. Rochester and Jane rebuild their relationship and get married. After 10 blissful years, Rochester regained his eyesight and behold their first son. Jane Eyre's style is descriptive and formal. Charlotte Bronte's sentences are long, often with colons, semicolons, and elaborate word choice. The most important moral lesson from the book is, you can overcome your past no matter how bad it is. I seriously cried through the whole first half of the book at how cruel the people treated Jane. The reason why I highly recommend this novel is because this novel works both as the absorbing story of an individual woman's quest and as the narrative of the dilemmas that confront so many women. With that, I thank you.